So for question number one, I wanted to focus on the question, what role or what role do human emotions play in relation to moral order? And honestly, I thought about this question for a really long time because the article brings up, or the text brings up so many different points about human emotion and like self-centeredness and self-consciousness. So I want to I kind of wanted to connect all of those points somehow. So, first off, um, we're moral creatures that we're still given free will, which means we're also given like feelings and emotions. And so we choose whether to accept or resist moral orders. And I think that plays into the idea of self-centeredness. And so people don't just do what is right all the time because that's what we know to be right. And also, how do we know what is morally right? Is it just because someone else thinks it is morally right? Like, I think that's something that the text also talked about was like, how did we decide that things are morally right? So like we can discern between right and wrong, but what is right and wrong? And so we have something else that I talked about again was self consciousness. And that section was really interesting to me because it talked about how our desires have desires and our feelings have feelings, and how what makes us so different from other animals or yeah, what other animals is that humans are aware of everything. Like we're so aware. And that just kind of blew my mind. I felt like I was taking like a psychology class. Um, but anyways, so, people don't always do what is morally right because we have complex feelings and complex emotions and complex thoughts and complex desires. And I think that's really what drives us along with our morality. So, I don't know, like people do what is right, or some people do what is right. And because of who they are as a person, as their emotions drive that, I think. But it also depends, I think, in like the culture or like the environment in which you live in. Uh, so it also talked about how morality is different in different countries. Like I forget exactly, but they talked about how it can differ. Um, so yeah, but yeah, the biggest thing are the most interesting thing to me was definitely the discussion of our self-consciousness. And I don't know, cause like, in the beginning of the article, I felt we were talking about morality like it was like humans always do the right thing, but we don't. And I don't know, like, it really depends on who you are and your emotions and how you feel. Like, maybe this is so, like, in a scenario, maybe you think, "Okay, this is the right thing to do," but I don't, or maybe it's the wrong thing to do. And so you feel that it's the wrong thing to do. That's something else I talked about was, uh, that's where how you come up with, I can't think of the word, it's like, I just remember the word, I looked it up, rationalizations. Like, that's where our rationalizations come from, is because we're telling ourselves, "Okay, maybe this isn't the best thing to do, but we can still do it because blah, 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 blah." I don't know, so our emotions are play a huge role in our decisions and our choices and stuff, but morality is kinda, like, always in the back of our mind. I think it's always, well, is this right or wrong? Is this what's just or unjust? And then we use that along with our emotions to make our decisions.